Hey, this is Coaster Chall, Dogs to Board, built for theme parks, and welcome to another Coaster Chall Reviews. Now, you guys have been looking forward to this review for quite a while, I think. This is ready. This is hashtag Rant Central, because I'm about to review the worst coaster I've ever done, and I think a few other people, it's the worst coaster they've done, I think many other people. It is Hero at Flamingo Land. Now, this opened in 2013. It's a Zamperla Volare coaster, which is like their version of a flying coaster, like the B&Ms, the Vekomas. I would have preferred a Vekoma at this rate. I would have preferred a Vekoma. So this replaced, the bad thing is, this replaced the Wild Mouse. Now, from what I've heard from reviews of their Wild Mouse, which is now opening as Marble Madness at Pleasurewood Hills, again, I've got a really good news update for Pleasurewood Hills in the next few days, so stay tuned for that. Basically, this now opened as Marble Madness, so those of you in Lowestoft can enjoy that, while us up here in North Yorkshire can enjoy Hero. Yeah, not so much. So let's go through the ride experience. The queue line, the sign out front, I mean, it's got some nice colour to it, the logo's quite nice, nice silver bar. Queue line, not much theming around the queue line. It could have done with a few superhero type theming items, in my opinion. So for queue line and station atmosphere, I'm only going to give it a 4 because there wasn't really any audio around the park when I experienced this coaster. I can't believe it. And there wasn't much theming around the queue line either. So again, only going to give it a 4 for queue line and station atmosphere. The layout. Oh dear, you guys probably think I'm going to be harsh with this review, but it's just, the layout I'm going to give 0.5 out of 10. It is the worst coaster layout, the worst ride experience I've ever done, and I think many people out there are going to agree with me on this. 0.5 is being generous. I'd rather give it a 0, but I'm going to be generous. I'm not going to give any ride a complete 0, I'm going to give them at least a mark. I'm going to give it a 0.5. It wasn't just the layout that wasn't really as exciting as it could have been, it's just the ride experience. When you're tilted in that flying position, there is literally nothing holding you in. It is literally like a back steel ladder that sort of presses down as you get tilted. So again, not much, which means you get rattled about all over the place. And those, the two inversions are the worst. In fact, no, I'm actually not going to say the worst because the turns are the worst. The two inversions aren't as good though. Like, I've had bruises coming off of that ride, and I did 2 or 3 rides on it on the day, and that was in the opening year, which is not good for an opening coaster. Now, of course, the worst part of the ride is the turns, especially after the inversions, because especially with how loose you are, with how loose those restraints are, you are literally flung into those turns, and you'll literally get bruises on the side of your hips, your abdomen, your other shoulder, depending how the turn, which way it turns. It's just absolutely awful. 0.5 out of 10 for layout. Theming around the ride, again, 0.5 out of 10. No theming around the ride whatsoever. The sign doesn't really count because it's an entrance sign. The stall outside, the exit, again, only like a silver stall, one of those like moving little minivans. Well, not vans, but it's like one of those mini carriages that you sort of get on a fairground, travelling attraction or something. So again, theming around the ride, 0.5 out of 10. Overall then for this coaster, I'm going to give this 1 out of 10. It is the worst coaster I've ever done. Basically, for those of you who don't know, my worst coasters, it's Hero last, then the Ultimate Light Water Valley, then Infusion at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and then you go into sort of the family coasters like the Casey Jr. at Disneyland Paris, Troublesome Trucks at Drayton Manor, and Ladybird at Lightwater Valley, into the Twistosaurus, and then of course it goes in again about thrill coasters with the Corkscrew at Alton Towers. So again, not a big fan of this coaster one bit. I promised you I wasn't going to rant. I kept my cool, I kept my calm today. I said I wasn't going to do it, so I've kept my cool. I'm alright. I just hate this coaster so much. this should remove it. This should remove the coaster. I mean, it's a compact space. I would suggest putting a Premier Skyrocket 2 in that space. I'd rather see that than the Zamperla Volare flying coaster, to be honest, because it fits the space well. If you remove Vortex, which is the rocking tug that was relocated from before it was in front of the mountain facade for the old Thunder Mountain coaster, the indoor coaster, and then when Hero opened, it was moved to there and got repainted where it's now known as Vortex. I'd remove that ride. It's not exactly getting the queues in. I know the families enjoy it, but I would either relocate it somewhere else and actually retheme it. So maybe do like the Kamali Canoe Capers, or just give it a new theme and move it somewhere else in the park. Maybe put it as a ride just outside the entrance gate. You know, like they have like a little mini plaza going into the rest of the thrill section of the park, where they have like the Spotted Cow ride, the runaway train ride that used to be at American Adventure in its final year of operation. You know, they have those little mini rides here and there. I'd suggest putting it there. I'd suggest putting it around there somewhere. Obviously not in the way of the Pirates of Zanzibar show. Maybe even theme it to Pirates. Maybe retheme the car and do like a Pirates thing. If not, just remove it, because you can use the Vortex space and the Hero space, combine it together, and you can put in a decent sized Premier Skyrocket 2 model. Maybe not the tallest in the world, depending on height restrictions, if they've got any height restrictions in the park, but I just don't think it works. I really don't think it works at the park, Vortex, and Hero is the worst coaster for most people, including myself. So, removing a hopeless roller coaster and a 50-50 popular kid attraction, you'd be getting a bargain with a Premier Skyrocket 2, especially if you theme it well. If you're going to put it in the Metropolis area, do like a nice superhero theme with it. Call it like Speed or Surge or something supersonic, something superhero-ish, Metropolis-ish, because it's in that area where near where Velocity and Navigator is, and it's sort of on the way down to Cliffhanger and Mumbo Jumbo and Kamali. So again, you could do many different things with that, but I'd just remove Hero. If any of you at Flamingo Land are listening, take my advice and take other people's advice that I know are calling out for it. Remove Hero. Relocate or remove the rocking tug, but just demolish Hero, because it hasn't been a good investment for the park since it opened in 2013. It's been one of the worst coasters in the UK, one of the worst coasters in the world, along with the likes of El Condor, Wallaby Holland, and things like that. It is absolutely dreadful, and that's why I only give it, I'm being generous here and giving it 1 out of 10. If I was allowing coasters to have a 0 rating, this would be pretty close to getting a 0, probably a 0.5, but I'm going to be generous today and just give it a 1. But thank you very much for watching this review from Hero. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss a video. For now, my name is Coach Chall. Keep living the coast up, dudes, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Take care. Have an awesome day, my friends.